Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Sableassent Tech Podcast. I am your host, Marlena D Evans, and we have a very, very special show for you today. We have our brother, Tamani and Mwandani. He has the knowledge for us. He is having a lot of things that our community needs to know about. We're so happy to have him here. We're so happy to have you here. So make sure you all stay tuned. And we will be right back. Mr. Mwandani, welcome.
How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for coming. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for the invite.
How's it? Oh, no problem. So I want to hop right into this interview. We have a lot to talk about, and I know you have a small window of time because we're in the elections.
Yeah.
So we want to ask you to give us a little background on yourself and let us know all about you.
I'm originally from South Carolina. Graduated in 1988. Went into the military. Army, spent 4 years. Got out. Read a few books when I was in the military and decided to give my birth name back, and that's Tamani and Mwandani is not my birth name. I changed my name when I was in the Army.
Yeah.
Got out, moved to Houston, Texas, joined a very, very, very awesome church called the Shrines of the Black Madonna that was serious about nation building and controlling of the community by Black people. Mm-hmm. The church started in 1953, and they're still going strong now. And that really changed my life because it showed me what a committed group of Black people could do when they are serious about doing something to control their space. So I was an active member for 20 plus years, got out, wrote a book, started Black Gold Nation. Here we are.
Right. That's so much. I know you got so much that you could list there, but I'm so happy you mentioned the Black Gold Nation. You guys are doing some amazing things over there. You're helping communities worldwide, just taking over, getting our power back. Give us a little background on, the great things you all are doing over there.
Well, our vision overall is to create safe spaces for Black people because we're not safe. And that comes directly out of the Shrine. I lived in a community here in Houston, Texas that was owned and controlled by the church. I mean, literally. My children were raised in an environment where they didn't have to worry about food, security, eating. My kids were taught how to pray, potty train, read, meditate, martial arts by Black people. 100% owned and controlled. And we had the same thing in Detroit, Atlanta, Houston, Calhoun Falls, South Carolina. Now they have a church in Liberia, Africa. So that is the vision, creating safe spaces for Black people. The mission is to control cities. There are 1,700 cities in America that are predominantly Black that we could control and run them like our own small Wakandas because we're already the majority. But of course, to do that, you have to have a different mindset and a different kind of leadership. So what we're trying to do is prepare our people to run cities. And that goes from politics to personal security to community security to a youth program that's not just trying to prepare our children to go to trade school, college to get a job, but to go to trade school, college to help run a city. Because if you cannot control the space, those that do control you.
Yes,
and that's why we keep losing, because we're not in control of all the things that affect and govern our lives. We didn't control any of it. Security, politics, food, education, and that's why we keep losing.
Money.
Our money, economics, and that's one thing that makes you guys so important because of what you're doing. I'm sure we'll get to that, but we absolutely must do every single thing we can to control every aspect of our lives, because it's been proven that when other people control it, we lose. And we think the system is broken, but it's not broken. It was designed to be that way. And that's why we will never be able to build true empowerment and freedom inside someone else's system. The rules aren't set up for us to win, and that's why we never win.
And so that's what the Black Gold Nation is doing, is helping to bring our system, show that our system that we already have is working, that what you guys had going is working. We just need more people on board, basically, right?
Well, no. We want to create a new system. We want to create our own system. And that doesn't mean that we're trying to, I take that back. We want to tweak the systems in America to work for us. For example, if a racist person is running a city, then Black people in that city might catch hell because there's a racist running that city. If there's a righteous Black person running that city, then things change for Black people.
Yes.
So we want to use what's in place as much as possible to make our lives better. But to do that, we have to understand that certain things need to change. For example, we are very, very, very spiritual people, and we don't even understand our spirituality. What has to be a part of our system and our culture is a spiritual understanding so that we can get back to being the people that we're supposed to be. Because that's never going to come from someone else who doesn't even understand spirituality. So we got to use the system, tweak the system where we can, but we also have to create new aspects of that system because this system is based on capitalism. And if you don't have any capital, you will starve.
Wow, that's beautiful. Now, what are some key positive things that we need to have in our communities about like improving everything that's going on? Like, what do you think we need to gain that power back that we deserve? Like, what are some key components that we can play with here?
Yeah, we need to do what the Black Gold Nation is doing. Find people who already know what they're doing. So we have this national leadership election because we know there are Black people out here doing things that we need to survive. Those Black people, they exist all over the place. So what we need to do in our own communities, no matter where we live, is find people who know what they're doing in the areas where we're falling behind. So for example, if we know our children aren't doing well in education in school, then find some people who know how to educate Black children. Make a connection, build a village. It really does take a village to raise a child. If we know that our people aren't safe, then find some people who know how to secure spaces and form an alliance. So do what we're doing in the Black Gold Nation on a smaller scale. Find out what the community needs. Find people who can fulfill that need and make the relationship work. We got to find common ground wherever there is, and there's a lot of common ground as opposed to highlighting the differences. And that is why you would never hear me say anything about the traditional Black church, no matter what I believe, because I know that there are allies in that church. Every Black church has intellectual capital. They have real estate capital. They have institutional capital. They got finances. That's an alliance that I can afford not to at least try to make happen, because I need as many allies as I can get, because my enemy is extremely powerful, extremely organized, and entrenched.
Ooh, that's right. Brother Tamani is here. We have Brother Tamani. He is going to make sure we leave here educated and knowing things and having knowledge. We're going to take a small break. We thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you all hit like and subscribe. Make sure you all go check out www.sableassent.com. Register your Black-owned businesses right now at no cost to accept SAC1. And we will be right back. Thank you for joining the Sableassent Global Tech Podcast, where our host, Marlena D Evans, interviews CEOs, innovators from all across the globe. We pride ourselves on learning their stories, successes, ups and downs, and advices. As you know, Sableassent is the Black connector. We enlighten our viewers with the tools they can use to grow and become successful. Go to www.sableassent.com. Make sure you accept the currency that will eliminate poverty all across the globe in Black communities worldwide. Click the link below or above to join the Sable community. Hey, welcome back to the Sableassent Tech Tour Podcast. I am here with Brother Tamani. We are here talking about the Black Gold Nation and its vision and getting a little bit of advice from our brother here. Now, as soon as I read, about the Black Gold Nation, I'm like, okay, I'm loving the mission. It's like we're like hand in hand. We're like right here. I'm so happy that we were able to, link up and make sure we letting people know that we're trying to be a unit. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts about what we're doing over here at Sableassent.
The fact that you guys exist in the economics and finance and technology space, that's why we're having the election. Because again, we know that there are Black people out here doing some phenomenal things, but our problem is that we're not connected and we're not organized and we don't talk to each other. So the fact that you guys are not only creating your own currency, the fact that you guys have a financial system that you have been working on, the fact that you are making it possible for organizations like mine or businesses to have their own debit or Visa stamped cards, That's a big deal. Whenever you can do anything in the financial space and give Black people control of it, that is a big deal.
Yes.
So as you guys continue to work to expand your international base and connections, we do the same thing. And as we are building on the ground, on the grassroots level globally, then it would be asinine for us not to take your technology and financial products with us wherever we go, because one of the things that we absolutely are focused on doing is controlling more of our local economics. We always hear how much money flows through the Black community, but we rarely hear how we can keep it and or get it back. And we're trying to get our people to realize that the only reason millions flow through is because we give it to people who take it to their communities. But if we had a way to keep those finances in our own space, and of course having any sort of financial instrument that we can put in Black people's hands and give them some of the money, but also recirculate those dollars, then that's a no-brainer. And the fact that fiat currency, if it's not already dead, is almost dead.
You see that?
Yeah. so if we have people that look like us, that think like us, that are already in those spaces where the future is going to be, where the future is, then you'd be foolish not to connect yourself with those kinds of Black minds. And again, that's why we do what we do, because we have to be connected with people like you guys who are not just in technology and economics and finance, but also in spirituality, in mental health, in agriculture, in security, in politics, in foreign policy, in sustainability. So we often make the mistake as a people thinking that we have to do one thing first. We got to do economics. No, we got to do finance. No, we got to do agriculture. No, we got to do politics. And everybody is wrong because we don't have the luxury of doing one thing at a time. We just don't. So we have to do these things simultaneously. And that's why having the right leadership is so important, because they will allow us to do those things simultaneously because they already know what they're doing.
Wow. I mean, what he said, ladies and gentlemen, what he said there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, okay. So we need to pick your brain a little bit, Brother Tamani. You have been a CEO, a COO, a CIO, a VP, a senior VP. All of the titles, ladies and gentlemen, that, if you want to be an entrepreneur or on a corporate ladder. And so we just want to get some advice on how we can climb that ladder if we're trying to get in a powerful role in corporate or get our business going and things like that. Let's get some advice from the expert himself.
How many bullet points you want? 1, 2, 3. How many points you want?
How many you have, sir?
A bunch. I'll give you the top 2. I'll give you 3. I guess the first one is have a vision of what you want and where you want to be. Sometimes we have an idea of what we want, but we don't know how to get there. So if you know you want to be at a certain point and you know what that looks like, visualize yourself there and then reverse engineer the steps so that you can start moving forward to reach that point. So the first one is having a vision. The second one is having a plan, especially if you're trying to have your own business. I don't know how many business plans I've written for other people as well as myself, but you got to have a plan. And a business plan is just that, a plan for your business. And the beauty of having a business plan is that it allows you to fail multiple times on paper before you waste any money. That's a big deal. But people don't want to do a business plan, white, black, or otherwise, because they don't like to write or they don't know how to write. But there's so many tools out here now that you can do a business plan, but just by using a template. And you want to answer those critical questions on paper first before you start spending money, because most of us don't have money to waste. Hell, most of us are just trying to struggle to make the damn thing work in the first place.
Okay.
So having a vision, having a plan, and putting that plan on paper, writing it down, business plan. And the third one, this is probably the most important one. You have to have a refuse to quit attitude. You got to be focused. And you can't say, I'll do this if so-and-so is with me. I'll do this if I get support from whomever. I'll do this if my friends. No, you have to think. And this is something that I'm constantly learning with this Black Gold Nation thing. You have to have the mindset of, I don't care if it's just me and I have to wear 15 hats a day and change that hat every 30, 40 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. You have to be committed so much so that you refuse to be denied and you refuse to quit. Because people are going to quit on you, and they don't quit on you because they're mad or they're upset or whatever. They quit because it's your vision and not theirs. And oftentimes, especially with us, sometimes we have to see so much before we can believe in the thing, because we don't have vision's address. So you got to really work as if it's on you, because more often than not, it really is. So those would be my top 3.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Bravo. Thank you. And that was, the vision. Have a plan, and don't be afraid, ladies and gentlemen, to make that plan. Like he said, it can save you a bunch of money. It can save you a bunch of headaches.
It will. That's what the plans are for. If it's a good plan, it'll most certainly, and not only save you money, but it'll prepare you for what's coming, because you should always update your business plan. It should never be outdated. It's a living, breathing document.
There we go. See, that's never been said here on the Sableassent Tech podcast. That is an original, sir. Let's go. So now let's talk about the national election that's going on. We need to, you all need Black leaders. Let our viewers know what you need. It's a lot of people that's just waiting to join, and help the community, help their communities.
Okay. So our perspective is that Black people are on the verge of becoming a permanent underclass. Permanent meaning our existence could be like it is in countries like India, where if you're born into a certain class or caste, you're going to die in that class or that caste, because there's no way to get out. And most of us live at or below the poverty level anyway. So we are running the risk, because so many things are changing, and those changes are not pro us. We're running the risk of becoming a permanent underclass in a country that was built on the backs of our people. So what we're saying in Black Gold Nation is that if we want to prevent that, if we're serious about preventing that, we got to find people who know what they're doing. Again, if I want to make sure that Black people have their own currency, or have the financial platforms that we can do our own economic transactions, I absolutely must find people like you, because you're already doing it.
Right.
So we have to understand that we are hundreds of years behind.
Yes, we are.
On being able to educate ourselves, feed ourselves, employ ourselves, secure ourselves, protect us. Every aspect of community life, we are behind on by design. It's not our fault. We didn't create this thing, but we live in it. So if we don't want to always be last when it comes to everything, we got to find people who know what they're doing. So what we're doing is we're trying to find national leaders in, I think, 24 different categories, from agriculture to spirituality and wellness. If we're going to make this thing work, if we're going to be a self-sufficient, self-sustaining, independent people, we should be able to live without America's assistance for as long as we need to live. And that don't mean you can't go to Chick-fil-A or Walmart or Target or whatever. You can still do that. Just know, when you come back to your space, when you come back to your zip code that's predominantly Black, your city that's predominantly Black, is controlled and ran by people that look like you, that love you, and that want you to be safe, secure, and win. To do that, we got to find people who know what they're doing in politics, in agriculture, in economics, in spirituality, across the board. So we're having the candidate search now. The end of this month is when the candidate search ends. September, we're trying to get 1,000 voters to participate in the election. And then we have our first inauguration, where we're bringing everybody together from around the country to Houston, Texas, for our first inauguration. And then we go from there. And then we build.
And they can actually read more about this at the blackgoldnation.com, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm putting that in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, right now. I do suggest you go in and read, and this is, let's start standing up. I mean, like you said, it's time for us to take control when we go back to these communities, to have people that can relate to our struggle, our background, what we've been through, care about our children. We need to control our thing. That's what it's about. We need to control it now, because as we can see, they can shut it down anytime they want, and we need to be, ready, and we're already behind. So we do have this brother here that has a lot of information if you just go on this website, blackgoldnation.com. And so when are we having the elections? Is it still this week, or are we just doing the end of the month?
Well, the candidate search ends this month, and we will have the actual voting the last weekend in September.
Got it.
Friday through Sunday.
Well, it's been a pleasure, my brother Tamani. I mean, we appreciate having you, learning from you. We wish you all good luck. We're right here with you all. Ladies and gentlemen, Make sure you all hit that link in there. Make sure you all go and register your Black-owned businesses at www.sableassent.com. We thank you again, Brother Tamani, for joining us, and we thank all of our viewers for chiming in. Hello to everybody again, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much, my brother. We appreciate having you.
God bless. All right.
We do. God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining the Sableassent Global Tech Podcast, where our host, Marlena D Evans, interviews CEOs, innovators from all across the globe. We pride ourselves on learning their stories, successes, ups and downs, and advices. As you know, Sableassent is the Black connector. We enlighten our viewers with the tools they can use to grow and become successful. Go to www.sableassent.com. Make sure you accept the currency that will eliminate poverty all across the globe in Black communities worldwide. Click the link below or above to join the Sable community.